Hi, I think this is the first time that I've gotten on and talked to you since we've actually arrived down here in Florida. So there were a couple of things I wanted to talk about. I wanted to let everybody know, those of you that don't already know, I have a new blog post up over on my website. And thank you to all of you that have subscribed and all the nice comments that I've been getting from you. I appreciate that my blog is something that you are finding some value in, and I just love all the wonderful comments I get from you, and I'm so happy that we now have that community area underneath each blog post where you can leave your comments and I can talk back to you, or you can talk to each other, which is really great. I'm so happy to see that each month when the blog comes out, more and more people take advantage of that, and it's so great to hear your thoughts on my thoughts, so thank you so much. The other thing I wanted to do was just take a minute, not a chance, to answer some of the questions that I keep getting from you. Sometimes the same question comes up over and over again, and it just seems more sensible for me to come out here and answer you all at the same time. So one of the questions that I've been getting, because I talk a lot about successful aging and how one of the things that you can do to stay connected in the current world is to get involved in your community, to get involved in volunteer work, to get involved in things that are outside of yourself, and it really helps to give you a different outlook. And it also is a social thing where you meet more people and you feel like you're contributing something. So of course, people started asking me, well, what do you do? And even though I do things, I've kind of hesitated to actually talk about it because it's kind of like, oh, I do this and I do that, and I never want to come across that way. But because so many people want to know, and you have every right to know, I'm telling you that you should be out there volunteering and getting involved. What am I doing? So I totally understand that question. So I will tell you. I sit on a couple of boards, and I have been on some boards in the past. I have been on the board of our hospital auxiliary board, and I was 6 years on the hospicare board, which was just an amazing experience. If they would have let me continue more than 6 years, I definitely would have. But the thing that's closest to my heart is a charity that I started in 1997. It was when my late husband was still alive, but very, very ill. And we spent a lot of time in medical facilities. He went through a kidney transplant. He went through the rejection of the transplant, dialysis. Unfortunately, then he got cancer from some of the drugs they gave him to try to keep the kidney in him. So, you know, I was meeting a lot of people whose lives were just nothing but hospital rooms and medical facilities. And so I realized that the people that everyone suffers when you're going through that, but people who are on a very tight budget suffer more, because there were things that we could buy to entertain him in his hospital room, or things that we could do that could alleviate some of the boredom and some of the worry. But if you're on a really tight budget, you can't do that. So that's when I got the idea of Small Comforts Foundation, and that is the charity that I founded in 1997. And basically, in a nutshell, what it does is it allows people in certain regions, we're not national, certain areas we have taken some exceptional applications from other states because they found us and they really needed our help, but mostly areas of New York State. But what it does is allows people or their family members to apply to us for an item or some kind of help that would raise their morale or their quality of life. And we do everything from furniture like lift chairs, adaptive computer equipment, we'll pretty much consider anything. You know, it just depends on the circumstances of the person and how much the board feels that this particular thing that they're asking for is going to change the quality of their life or help their morale. So in a nutshell, that's where I spend a lot of my time. So, you know, being on boards and volunteering and working on Small Comforts is basically what I'm doing right now. Over the years, I've done other things, like I've been on, I was the head of the United Way in Virginia. I've done some other things that, you know, really made me feel connected to communities and made me feel like I was giving something back, which has always been really important to me. So enough about me, but I just wanted to let you know that I am out there, I am doing things, I am taking my own advice. But I hope all of you, if you haven't ever volunteered, there's always some place in your community that you can volunteer. And one of the places that I also wanted to tell you about are places like the Women's Opportunity Center, which is a place in my town that I'm trying to support more and more. They will help women get started in life again after setbacks, after illnesses, after divorces. They will teach you to write a resume. They will help you in any way that they can. And then most of them also have a clothing component where they have clothes that you can actually get, that you can wear to job interviews and things like that. So, I mean, almost every community has some form of this particular type of service. So that's another really great place to volunteer. If you didn't want to volunteer at a hospital, volunteer to help other women who are going through bad times and trying to start over. I mean, the number of places that you can find volunteer positions is just unlimited. So if you're feeling disconnected, if you're feeling lonely, if you're feeling down, try turning it around and getting outside of yourself and helping people. And it really, really does help. And you're really going to be doing some good for other people. So keep that in mind. And as always, please send me your questions. I'll be happy to hop on here and answer any of them anytime. Just let me know what you need.